Talking about those running backs, 2020 fantasy football. Everybody always wants to know draft strategy. So in these videos, we're not going to say, oh, you take running back in the first round, the fifth round, the seventh, and the eighth, and the whatever. That's not how it works. It's just a overarching kind of what our strategies are is based on ADPs, different things like that. You'll understand more when we get into the video. But first, if you want just rankings,
check them out on the website. We'll be updating them throughout the preseason as I'm sure, the crazy news comes in. And we have our draft guide and the cheat sheet on there, which is free. Go down there, download it. There'll be a link in the description to it. Check it out. And maybe share our video as a thanks.
At least give us a like.
For the free
just
draft guide.
Just a like. All right, let's get into running backs. The first group of running backs, the first round guys, right? You got McCaffrey down really to Mixon and everybody in between. Take one. Just flat out do it. Right? Don't get cute. We said when the whole no RB strategy was all the rage, 2-3 years ago?
Yeah.
We were like, listen, this is going to die out. It's going to go back to running backs in the first. Guess what? It has. That was an overcorrection then. We're back to the way it should be. You want these running backs that have less question marks. They're going to get a lot of the carries, a lot of the touches. They can be big time point scorers for you. So you're in the first round, you take a running back.
Unless you want to. You don't have to. What I've always said is I almost always get one running back with my first two picks. And that is even more this year than probably any year that we've seen recently because there's a lot of question marks with the rookies and how much are they going to be involved right away.
I'm going to talk about that soon.
And he's going to talk about that. But there's also a lot of question marks in the guys that come around the 15th pick. I was working it in.
Continue.
I'm not trying to steal what you're going to talk about.
We have a session before, type what we're going to talk about, and then all of a sudden,
basically,
wants all the glory.
I feel like the question marks start kind of early in terms of, even with Nick Chubb and Aaron Jones, with guys that are going to be competing with touches for those guys. Normally, I feel like you can get solid guys in the middle of the second round that don't have a ton of question marks. Now, these guys, you're still happy that you get them. You're not super upset. But you go all the way down to the 40th pick or so, and you're looking at guys like Gurley and those type of guys. Still, just there's question marks, and you got to get one of those first two round guys. That's basically what we're saying because you want to build your team around that running back, your running back core around those because there will be a lot of question marks all the way down, including the guys that Brent's going to talk about.
Thanks for that segue there, boss. So that is one other thing just to note, overarching, take a ton of running backs this year. A lot of lottery tickets. Just take a bunch of running backs. That's why your kicker and defense are your last picks. Just gobble up running backs. That's always a strategy. Just want to be crystal clear of that. Now, Dustin talked about some guys with question marks as I go into this, 40 to 70 type range as far as ADP goes. This is either the rookies or the guys with serious question marks and you're not even you can't even talk yourself into them. It's you're just ugh, I got David Johnson. I mean, they traded Hopkins for him, which was stupid.
He could be good.
I mean, he could be, but you're not thrilled as an RB1 or something if you wait. Yeah. So that's the it's the David Johnsons, the Connor, Singletary, Gordon, where there's we don't feel great. Or you can take the rookies, which I actually do love this class, right? You got Taylor, Swift, Akers, you got Dustin talked about Dobbins, but still, you got kind of those rookies. What are they going to be with no camp though? So it's going to take them a little bit longer than it has in year past. So again, this is where you got to grab them because I'm saying you got to grab as many running backs as possible. But this is why Dustin was saying lock in one of those studs or a better guy with one of your first two picks because you don't want just a bunch of these lottery tickets.
And you got to think about end season and what's going on with all the COVID stuff. If you have a wide receiver that's going to miss the week, you go to the wire. You pick up a receiver.
Yep.
Quarterback, same deal. Tight end, same deal. But if you need an RB2, it's hard. So you got to have a lot of backup plans. So this year, in the later rounds, 80 plus in terms of ADP, you really got to load up on guys that I would say have flex appeal or guys that can handcuff one of your studs.
I do like handcuffs.
That have clear-cut backups that have high volume potential if the starter goes down. Guys like Pollard or Moss, Madison, Darrell Henderson, he might even end up winning that job. A.J. Dillon. I mean, you know who the handcuffs are. But this year in particular, but also in any type of PPR league, I might be snagging some of the James Whites and Cohens more than I normally would, just because if I get in a pinch, I know that they could be an 8 to 10 point guy for me, and at least just give me a fill-in if something happens with, because it's going to be like with baseball, guy tests positive and there he goes for a couple weeks, and in a couple of weeks in football, that's a lot of time to miss. So,
and there's going to be a lot of people are going to grab these handcuffs anyway. They're going to be on other teams. The wire's just not going to be as deep with running backs because everybody should be deploying the strategy. So therefore, you can't be the one not doing it, or you could be in big trouble. big trouble.
Yeah. So this year, running backs should be 90% of your bench. I mean, maybe throw in a backup QB or backup tight end, maybe an extra receiver here or there, but you got to fill up this year.
But no backup kicker, no backup defense, one quarterback league, and no backup QB. Correct. So really, it should just be maybe a tight end, 1 or 2 wide receivers, and the rest running backs. Yeah. Maybe, actually, I would do maybe 1 tight end, maybe 1 receiver, the rest running backs.
You can figure it out when the bye weeks come.
And they could be gold, too. Running backs are such good trade pieces anyway as we get into the season, so.
Draft running backs.
Shocker. Brilliant strategy here from Fantasy Smack Talk.
But the 0 running back strategy, this is not a year I would try.
Do not do it.
I mean, I know some people, I started out with Thomas and Tyreek Hill. And yeah, that's fun, but it's the rest of your team.
Could it work? Yes, it could work if you hit on these guys, but it's just
there's too many question marks once you get out of the second round, or even towards the end.
You got to mitigate your risk in the draft. That's what all you're doing is just mitigating your risk. You're going to only increase it if you wait and you just take a bunch of lottery tickets.
It's going to be an interesting year, so we'll see what happens. But check out all our stuff. Check out all our videos. Let us know what you think. If you agree, disagree, I'm sure you will, even if I tell you to or not. But thumbs up, likes, subscribe, share.